Assalamu alaikum. Hi everyone. Today's lesson is lesson number 3 in how to write a school magazine article. As you remember, we wrote the title and the introduction. And today we're going to start writing the body. But the question is what the type of the article we're going to write. Actually, today we're going to start with writing an argumentative school magazine article where you are required to discuss different prescriptives on a topic and give your opinion as well. You need to present the arguments for and against, okay, and weigh them up. Then you can either give a balanced conclusion or give your final assessment of the issue being discussed, stating clearly your personal viewpoint and justifying it with evidence and examples. So the question is, how can we organize your paragraphs? Ask yourself, should I start with supporting ideas or opposing ideas? Actually, the answer depends on you. Ask yourself what my viewpoint is. And you should start with the other side of the issue being argued. So you can keep the flow of your writing as you do not have to make any shifts, any sudden shifts. So the outline of my writing will be with against, or against with. This is how you can organize and outline the body paragraphs. Ready to start? Let's start. Okay, use the following plan to show both points of view. Number one, general introduction, where you write the importance of the subject you have been asked to write about without giving your opinion. We do not give our opinions in the general if we are writing about the both sides of an issue. Put forward one side of the issue being argued, the argument in favor or the advantages, for example. Then the other side of the issue being argued, the argument against or disadvantages. Finally, put forward the conclusion, which is your personal viewpoint. Clear? Let's dig into this. Okay, let's expand the plan. First paragraph, which is a general introduction, where we write the importance of the subject as we mentioned before. Okay, but when you are writing the introduction, don't forget to use here time fixers. Words like nowadays, until now, these days, in the past, in the last 5 years, 20 years ago, recently. Also, you need to write generalizations, one of the generalizations. Words like nearly all, many, a large number of, or several. So now I'll give you an example, and let's do this example step by step together. The governors of your school have decided that all students should take part in competitive team sport. Write an argument for your school magazine newspaper giving your views. Okay, every word in the question is there for a reason. Keep this into your minds and make sure you have read every word before you begin. If I ask you what are the key words in this question, you will tell me all the students. That means everyone, no exceptions. Compulsory means there is no choice, you must take part. Competitive means playing to win, not just for fun or keeping fit. And team sports means sports or games like volleyball, football, which means it's not an individual sport. Okay? For the introduction, as we mentioned before, it will be something like this. This is the title, and here a rhetorical question, generalization, and time fixers. Let's listen to this introduction.
Team games, friend or foe? Are you an athlete? Do you enjoy the team spirit? Many students do not, but there are some students who consider team games as the spice of their life. These days, many schools think that students must take part in competitive team sports, while some students think it is a bad decision.
Okay, now let's go for the second paragraph where you put forward one of the issue being argued, for example, the argument in favor, and make sure you introduce views and arguments phrases like one of the main arguments in favor of or against is that. Some people would argue that, and it's a fact that. Don't forget to use addition phrases every time when you would like to add a new idea, like furthermore, moreover, what's more, besides, take care of the punctuation. Notice here that we add a comma after each of them. And when you add a new idea, you need to support this idea. Otherwise, don't try the idea. If it's a super duper idea but you cannot support, don't try. How can I support the idea? You can support the idea giving an example, giving a definition, giving reasons, or giving consequences of this idea. But don't forget to use some support phrases before supporting your ideas. Something like which, this means that, for example, as a result, which means that consequently. Okay? I will show you an example of the first body. Let's listen to this.
One of the main arguments in favor of taking part in compulsory competitive sports team is that students became unfit due to laziness. Furthermore, team sports encourages social interaction. This means that students will learn how to work together. Moreover, a healthy mind in a healthy body. As a result, this helps students to be energetic and healthy.
Okay, let's move to the next paragraph, which is the third paragraph here, where you state the one of the main arguments, one of the main, where you state the other side of the issue being argued. It could be the argument against, for example. And here, don't forget to start with, again, concession phrase, with a concession phrase. Something like, on the other hand, however, nevertheless, and be aware of using a comma after each of them so that you can keep your punctuation correct. Also, after this, you need to use views and argument phrases, like one of the main arguments against is that. It can be argued that. It has been said that. And also, again, every time when you'd like to add a new idea, don't forget to use an addition phrase like furthermore, what's more, moreover, besides. And every time you would like to support your idea, don't forget to use a support phrase like which, this means that, which means that, as a result, consequently. Okay, let's listen to the third paragraph here.
On the other hand, one of the main arguments against playing compulsory team sports is that since the students are forced to do something, they lose their interest, which means they will not be enthusiastic participants. Furthermore, students who do not like sport may weaken the team, which means they may be bullied or even socially isolated. Moreover, too much emphasis on sport can result in aggressive behaviors as the students will focus on winning and they do not play for fun.
Okay, the last paragraph that we're going to write is the conclusion, where you need to state your personal opinion. And that's why at the beginning, very beginning of writing a conclusion, we need to use phrases to introduce the points, like to sum up or in conclusion. And then we need to use one of the opinion phrases, since I'm going to express my opinion, like, in my opinion, in my view, I'm strongly opposed to, I believe that, I'm very much in favor of, I'm against, personally. Okay, note this. In many cases, sentences which begin with giving an opinion continue by making a suggestion. So if you're going to give an opinion here in the conclusion, just to try to add a suggestion directly after the opinion. Like, it seems to me that this is an opinion phrase. We should judge person by his actions, not by his appearance. This is a suggestion. As far as I'm concerned, this is opinion. It's high time we begin to respect the environment. This is a suggestion. More examples. I believe that schools have a responsibility to motivate students, and it would be a good idea if playing sports were not compulsory. But keep into your mind, if you're going to use it, would be a good idea if it should be followed by the past tense. Okay, after you finish writing your conclusion, you need to add your personal touch. How can I add my personal touch? It's easy. Using question tags could add flavor to your style, helping you maintain the appropriate sense of audience. When you ask question tag, you stimulate the reader's interest since you address your audience directly. Questions make people think what you are writing, and the reader will feel you are trying to talk to them. Also, the use of the question tags at the end of the paragraph gives the audience something to consider. Okay, let's have a look over the conclusion.
To sum up, in my opinion, it would be a good idea if playing sports were not compulsory because this helps students to have fun and keep fit at the same time.
Don't you agree? This is everything for today's lesson. I hope you find it useful for yourselves. So wait for me coming soon with more videos. But now I have to say bye bye.